Our final review for today is Big Game, a Finnish action comedy. I have to apologise in advance because it is a Finnish movie, so I am going to mispronounce quite a few names, so I just thought I'd get that out of the way here and now. The movie is about a young teenager called Oskari who is hunting in the woods as part of a rites of passage ceremony in his village. To prove that he has come of age, to prove that he's a man, he's to go out into the woods and hunt a deer or something of that description using only a bow and arrow, and to do it totally on his own, even though he himself is way too weak to pull the string on his bow. Meanwhile, you have the President of the United States, who is travelling to a pre-G8 meeting, who is attacked by terrorists and crash lands within the Finnish countryside, even though the movie itself is filmed within Germany. And it's up to, then, Oskari to save the president, to defeat the evil terrorists, and to get home before tea time. It is directed by Jalmari Heldenson, who also directed Rare Exports, a Finnish horror comedy, which I think I'm the only person in the entire UK that's actually seen it, which I found to be actually rather interesting. It stars Onni Tommila and many of the same people who were in Rare Exports in minor supporting roles. Samuel Jackson, because he doesn't say no to anything, and Jim Broadbent, who spends most of the movie drinking water and eating sandwiches. It is described as an action comedy, though the comedy side of things is a little bit dry and to a certain degree lacklustre. The movie sets out and to describe itself as being almost like a boy's own adventure movie, much in the same style as Red Dawn or The Goonies. But sadly, it misses the spark and energy that those kind of movies had to it. Which is the exact same problem that I had with Rare Exports. It's too dry. It's too straight-laced. It leaves a bit more zest and spark and energy and wit and guile and intrigue to it to make it a better movie, which is sadly things that are totally absent within this movie. There is little humour to be had within it. That's not to say it's totally devoid of humour. There are a few funny moments here and there, but it is a little bit too deadpanned at times, a little bit too straight, a little bit too serious, when in reality it needs to lighten up. It needs to play around with the concept a little bit more and do something a little more interesting and exciting with it, to almost send up the absurdity of the entire situation. It's a movie about a teenager having to save the President of the United States and defeat terrorists with a bow and arrow that is too weak to even use. There should be a lot more humour and some energy within it, but sadly there isn't. It's a great concept, a fantastic concept, which sadly isn't really developed or utilised to its fullness. I did enjoy the movie despite my misgivings towards it, though I may be a little bit more forgiving of it because I loved Rare Exports so much, and it is good to see the same director and more or less the same cast in another movie like this. But there is a few problems with it. It is a bit too dry, which is going to put people off to it. I can't recommend it for everyone because it is so dry at times, but if you're looking for a little bit of a different kind of action movie, then go and see it. It is remarkable to see this kind of boys' own adventure movie be made and released at the moment, even if sadly it's done in a fairly cack-handed way. Oh dear.